Hi, welcome to our Bazi for Noob or Novices series. In topic 2 today, I'm going to talk about how the 10 gods are derived. Before that, we should look at this thing known as the 5 elements interaction or relationship. Okay, so let me begin with using fire as the so-called reference point. In this instance, it is known as a producing cycle. And this type of 5-element cycle interactions are extremely important because this is the entire so-called pivot or center of gravity of the study of Bazi, Qi Feng Shui, I Ching, etc. Okay, you have to know this very, very well. And in fact, there are more than just one cycle to look at. We will talk about it shortly. So, fire, being one of the 5 elements, actually produces earth. And earth produces metal. Metal produces water. So water produces wood. And wood produces fire. So in normal day, you can actually see it as when fire is burned, when it's burning something, when it's finished, it becomes ashes. So ashes is actually earth. And earth, over millions of years, actually, it has so-called minerals, metal ores, precious stones, all buried within the earth itself. So that's the reason that earth produces metal. And metal produces water. So some says that some masters or practitioners, or in fact book says that because when you melt the metal, it becomes liquid. There's an alternative saying that because metal, if you place it overnight, it actually attracts water. Alright, so regardless of whichever theory, we just need to know that metal enhances or produces the strength of water. And in turn, water grows the wood, because if you want to grow your trees, your plants, you have to of course shower it with water. All right, and wood has to be fed into fire to let it burn and create more fire. So this entire thing is known as producing cycle. One element produces another element, or you can say that one element further enhances the strength of another element. Well, but there is this so-called simultaneously, there's this weakening cycle going on, because when fire, keeps burning, it will slowly diminish. And when it diminishes, of course, the ashes become more and more and contributes to the earth. So it is like a zero-sum game. When one go up, the other one must come down. Just like when we say earth produce metal, earth gets weakened. Because if you dig the precious stone out of the earth, of course we say that earth gets weakened, or whatever is inside the earth gets smaller and smaller, get lesser and lesser. Whereas whatever you have dug out, like metal, it gets more and more outside. Okay, and of course metal produces water, or you can say that on the other hand, water weakens metal. And when water is producing the wood weakens the water. Alright? And therefore, this forms a weakening cycle. In gist, one element gains strength, the other element loses strength. This is very important. Some people call this the exhausting cycle. And next we have the controlling cycle. For example, wood controls earth. Just imagine you need to plant a lot of trees. to control landslide. So sometimes controlling can be in a good way. It's not necessarily just countering or attacking. And earth controls water, so you can think of like when there's a flood, you have to put a lot of rocks and boulders to prevent flooding or to stop the water from coming in. We all know that water will extinguish the fire, and fire will mold or reshape metal, and metal will counter the wood, or can be in a good way also, because when there are too many bushes around, you need to trim it down using your scissors or axe or cutter. Alright, so effectively there are 3 cycles that you have to memorize. Okay, so subsequently later on we'll be using Warren Buffett 八字 to talk about 5 elements interaction, as well as how the 10 gods are being derived. You see, if you study this thing called the 子平八字, which most people are studying right now, okay, 子平 is supposed to be a person that invented the 4 pillars of destiny. Okay, because in very ancient time, people just deal with 1 pillar of destiny, which is the year pillar. But when 子平 came in, okay, probably a millennium ago, he actually so-called reformed this art of 八字 by making it into 4 pillars of destiny and making the day as the reference point, which is now known as the day master. So you can say that Warren Buffett is born with the day master of yang water or ren water. Okay, and if you are still not very familiar with the stems and branches, I would encourage you to go to my so-called video topic number 1 about stems and branches to familiarize yourself. So 八字 actually talks about the interplay or the interactions among or between the 5 elements. But you see, if you are just looking at it from the elemental perspective, it actually cannot bring out too many so-called meanings. There isn't enough layers of dimensions or meanings for you to do analysis on day-to-day event. For example, you see, I actually, in a typical 八字 chart, there are some other names that are, based on 10 God, they're supposed to be written here, but I actually just cover it up. Okay, I cover it up. All right, and I'm just looking at the 5 elements. So this is just based on the 5 elements. Okay, so this is the heavenly stem level. This is the earthly branch. And of course, we have the hidden stem level. All this will be taught in our subsequent videos. But for this video, we will be looking at how, mainly the 10 God is being derived, the names, and how do we label all these stems and branches using the 10 God name. Okay, that's our main objective. And we ask ourselves why 10 God is so important. In fact, this concept of 10 God is also created by 子平八字 system. It is the entire pivot of the system. Without 10 God, you cannot call it the 子平八字 system. Okay, and with 10 God, it will make your analysis more accurate, more meaningful, many layerings for you to achieve whatever prediction outcome you want. Why is it important to know all these meanings of 10 gods? Instead of just 5 elements, like looking at wood, looking at fire, looking at just the interaction between them. Not enough. We need to know, what does wood represent in your day-to-day life. In terms of kinship, who does it represent? Is it your wife? Is it your father? Is it your mother? Then that will allow us to do meaningful prediction or analysis. So basically, on top of just a 5 elements layer, we need to look at Cant God, so as to make it more meaningful. And in this video, I'm going to show you basically the simple meanings of Cant God, as well as how we derive, okay, and label them onto the Bazi chart. Just now we were looking at this production cycle, right? Producing cycle, day master. But now we convert it slightly. Instead of just looking at the elements like fire, wood, metal, all these things, we actually use another meaning, another layer of meanings here. We actually put day master, then we have output, wealth, authority, and resource. And there's one more later I'm going to show you, which is known as the self or the friend star. So what are all these things? These are actually collective terms for the Cant God. Okay, and we are going to go deeper into this shortly. Let's begin with friend stars. So, looking at this chart, we are comparing day master with friend. And this is the entire crux of Ziping system. Looking at the Cant God, how is it being derived? First thing first, we look at the meaning first, alright? In Bazi, the element that shares the same element as day master, regardless whether yin or yang, alright, it is given a collective term known as friend or self star. In this case, if you want to so-called drill in further in terms of their polarity, okay, friend star can be, you either call it the friend, 比肩, or the rock wealth, 劫财. Okay, so for example, just now if you take a look, go back to Warren Buffett chart, his day master is 润 water. So if he sees another water element, regardless is 润 or 癸, they are known as his friend star. Or some people call it self star. So just to share with you a bit of simple attributes about friend or rock wealth, we borrow the market terms, okay? Some of the things that it represents is siblings, because friends are like your peers, your parallel, people of the similar so-called status as you. So it can refer to siblings, your competitors, expenses. Okay, but we're not going to discuss this right now. Why is it expenses? It talks about a person's confidence level. This element attack your money star. But let's not be too concerned over this first. Let's just understand that friend star is another element that shares the same element as you, the day master. Next, output star. So this is the thing. Output star is what your day master produces. Excuse me. The element that your day master produces is known as output. But of course, output, we got the yin-yang difference. So, you have, output stars either known as hurting officer, 伤官, or eating god, 食神. And the simple meanings here is the Chow Star for the woman, because it is an element that they produce, just like their child, their baby. Also, it represents creativity in our Bazi. It represents your students. It is the source of wealth. We'll talk about this next time. It attacks authority stars. Okay? But what you need to know now is it is the element that you or your day master produces. Next, let's look at wealth star. You see, wealth star, look at this red arrow here. Wealth star is actually what the day master attack or control. But if you look at another angle, it is what your output star produces. That's why just now in the previous slide, we say that the eating god is the source of wealth star. Okay? Meaning, output produces your wealth. If wealth is your money, so this is your money making machine. Okay, simple. If this is your golden egg, then this is the goose that lay the golden egg. But if you make reference back to the day master, it is the element that your day master attack, or we like to use the word here, control. And wealth star can be either direct or indirect. 正财 is direct wealth, 偏财 is indirect wealth in Chinese. And some of the things that it represents is father star, your wife or your girlfriend. Your wife is your direct wealth, girlfriend is indirect wealth. Father star for man is indirect wealth, for lady is direct wealth. It is your money assets, spending habits, and it does attack resource star, but don't worry about this. This is a bit advanced. Next, let's look at authority stars. So in this chart, authority is the star that in this case attack the day master or control the day master. You see the arrow pointing back. Okay, it is the element that controls the day master. It can be either known as the direct officer or 7 killing. Later on, we will discuss how you arrive at whether this element is direct officer, DO, or 7 killing. Okay? And for the meanings, it actually represents the husband or boyfriend star of the woman, the Chow Star for man, and of course this star is important to talk about your promotion luck, your status, your authority, your power. That's why it's known as the authority star. Okay, leadership quality, and it attacks self-star. Next, we have resource star. So resource star is the star or the element that produces the day master, that strengthens the day master. And you have two types here, either the direct resource or the indirect resource star. Chinese we call it the 正印 or the 偏印. But collectively they are known as the resource star. Some of the things that it represents is your mother, helpful people, nobleman, your mentor, your teacher. It is about absorption and learning. It attacks output star. Okay? So we'll be using Warren Buffett chart. So right now, you see I remove away all the boxes that I actually inserted in the previous slides. So you can see all the names here. Like this is IR, indirect resource. This is eating god, EG. DW is direct wealth. Okay, DO is direct officer, HO is hurting officer. So all this abbreviation has been given in the previous slides. You can go and check it out. Now, the thing is, how on earth did the 八字 calculator, or even before 八字 calculator was invented, in the ancient time, how on earth did the master come up with all these names? How did he know that yang metal is IR for Ren water here? How do we know that this yang fire here that contains in the hidden stem a ting and a ji is direct wealth and DO? How do we insert all these things? You're going to learn this very soon. So in this exercise, we'll use the day master of Warren Buffett. Okay, and he belongs to the Ren water, which is the yang water, to demonstrate how we derive and label every heavenly stems and earthly branch with the names of the Cant God. Okay? So, This is what we are looking at, the day master, Yang water, run. You can also try to use your own day master. Of course, there are many calculator, Bazi software available for free online. Otherwise, you can go to my website, masterfengshui.com. You go in, you sign up as a member, free. You can start to use our free online calculator under tools. Okay, you can check it out later on. So let's look at, first thing first, element that the day master produces. So recap, element that the day master produces are known as output star. And output star, we have HO and EG. Okay, like this. So we use Warren Buffett, day master, run Yang water. And output here is wood. Okay, so wood got two types, Yang wood or Yin wood. So for Yang wood is Jia, Yin wood is Yi. But how do we know which one is hurting officer, which one is eating God? Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so look at this. Yang water, I produce the wood. Because water produce wood. That's why it is important that you understand the 5 element producing, countering, weakening cycle. Alright? Because in this case, Yang water produces wood. So this is what I produce. Okay, because you need to know that water produces wood. So you have Jia and Yi. One Yang, one Yin. So you see, this is Yang. This is Yang. So in this instance, we are looking at output star. So output star that shares the same polarity as me is known as eating God. You can be Yin wood. Sorry, you can be Yin water. And over here, you can be Yin wood. Also eating God. Because as long as you have the same polarity as output star. The other one is Yin, one is Yang, or the day master can be a Yin, but over here must be a Yang wood, okay? So Yin Yang difference, put it this way. Different polarity. The name is hurting officer. So this is how we arrive at the name. Based on the polarity. First step first is, what is this element doing to me? That's what you need to find out. Second thing is that after you know that, oh, okay, I classify this element as the element that I produce. So I as a water, I produce or enhances wood. Okay. So based on, that's the basic logic. Then from there, it evolves from here based on the polarity. Well, we are going to do the rest together. Next, element that day master control are known as the well stars. So there are two types as mentioned. So let's proceed. Day master control well star. Element that day master control. So again, I'm Ren water, Yang water. My well star, whatever I control is fire. Okay, because based on the 5 element concept, water always control fire. So let's go to this chart. I'm a water person, Yang water person. I control 2 types of fire, Yang and Yin. So if I'm a Yang water, I see another Yang fire. It is known as the same polarity indirect wealth. If I'm Yang water, I see a Yin fire, different polarity, it gives rise to a direct wealth star. Okay. Next, we look at element that controls back day master. It is your authority star. Authority star can be either DO or 7K. Like this, authority star control me, day master. So I'm Yang water. So there are 2 types of earth. Because earth will definitely control water. One is Yang, one is Yin. So day master yang water, you control me means this guy control me. Okay, earth control me. So same polarity, yang see yang give rise to 7 killing. Yin see yang or yang see yin, different polarity, is known as direct officer. So you see, every time you have a different polarity, yin yang, it is always a direct star, direct wealth, direct officer. Okay? Whereas, same polarity, yang yang or yin yin, always give rise to indirect star. So let's move on. Element that produces day master. So what enhances and produces day master is resource star. Okay, like this. Resource produce your day master. In this case, there are two types of so-called resource star here. One is Keng, one is Sing, because metal definitely produces water. Okay? So, you produce me. You produce me. So, yang water, si yang metal. Remember, same polarity, yang yang always indirect. Different polarity, yin yang, direct resource. Okay? Move on. Element that shares the same element as day master. One is friend, one is Rockwell. But which one? So we're looking at day master is water. So you got two types of water here, yang water or yin water, ren or kui. So how do you tell which one is going to be the friend, which one is going to be the Rockwell? Okay, same as me. Yeah? So you got two types of water here. Yang yang, same. Ren, same polarity, friend. Different polarity, one ren, one kui, or this one can be kui, this one can be ren. Different polarity, rock wealth. Okay, so this is how we arrive. And I observe in my physical class that actually a lot of students are still confused with this. So I urge you to watch this video maybe a few times in case you cannot understand. So let's recap on how we derive the Cant God's name. Recap. Element I produce, my baby I produce, is my output. Okay, then output got two types of star, right? Either eating God or hurting officer, yeah? Okay, you check back. Element I control is my money, my wealth. So, again, either direct or indirect wealth. Element that controls me is authority, like the government, like a boss. Or for the lady is your husband that control you. Okay, there are two types, right? DO, direct officer, or 7 killing. Then, element that produces I is known as resource star. You got direct or indirect resource star. Then, finally, element same as me, same as I. Friend is known as friend. So, you got friend or you got rock wealth. Okay? So, it boils down to the yin-yang polarity for each element. So now, let's practice. Maybe now when you look at this chart, Warren Buffett chart, it will make sense to you. Okay? So, for example, let's do it together. Go through one by one. We'll go through one by one here. And before I go further, I just want to tell you that at the earthly branch level, we do not give a Cant God labeling. Cant God labeling is only happening at the stems level. Either heavenly stems or hidden stems. And now you ask me, why does Yang Fire, this horse here, has Ting, has Ji? Why Shen has Geng, has Wu, has Ren? Why Zi only contains one hidden stem called Kui? Why? I will talk about this in the next video. These are fixed, so-called fixed rules. Okay? You will always see Yang Fire, the horse, having a Ting and a Ji. Just like you will always see a rat here, Yang Water, contain only one Kui. I'll show you the rest of the earthly branches. What and how many hidden stamp it contains for every earthly branch. So bear in mind, you don't label the Cant God name at the earthly branch level, yeah? You do it only at the hidden stamps. So let me go through with you. Warren Buffett is a Ren Yang water. So Yang water, see Yang metal, Yang Yang same polarity, always indirect. Okay, but you must determine what does metal do to me. What does metal do to me as a water? Metal produce me. So whatever produce me is my resource, like my mother. That's why it's known as a mother star. So it is a matter of whether is it indirect or direct. Okay, so now because it is Yang, see Yang is indirect, so you put IR here, indirect resource. Next one. This is a Yang wood. So Yang, see Yang again. But what is wood? Wood is what water produces, right? So it is your output star. Okay, but now we are trying to determine which output star. Is it eating God or hurting officer? Because it's same polarity, Yang Yang, it is eating God. If this is a Yin wood, then it becomes hurting officer. Okay? Then we move on to the hour pillar here. This is yin fire. So what does water do to fire? Water extinguishes, right? So water attack, water control. So whatever you control is known as your direct wealth, or well star, sorry. Okay, known as your well star. But whether is it direct or indirect, you have to look at the polarity. So in this case, you are Yang water. Our day master is Yang water. We look at yin fire. Yin Yang different. Therefore, direct wealth. Then we move on to horse. Under the horse, we have two hidden stamps. One is called Ting, yin fire. One is called Ji, yin earth. So you compare this one first. Ting is yin fire, which is same as this. Therefore, it is direct wealth, DW. And this is a yin earth, Ji is a yin earth. So what does earth do to me? Earth actually controls me, control water. Okay, so you can say that it is authority star. Hey, but which one? Is it 7K or DO? It is DO because this is Yang and this is Yin Earth. So Yin Yang is always direct star. Okay, so let's do one more. Let's do one more. Let's do this one. Okay, this one is same thing. So you can just borrow from here. This is DO, this is also DO because it's Yin Earth. So this is now a Yin wood. So Yin wood sees Yang water. It is something that Yang water produce. It's the output star. And because it's Yin Yang, so it gives rise to hitting officer. Then this one is the Ting, same as here. So you just copy. Same, DW. Then what about this one? This is called Kui. Kui is water. So I'm a water. I see another water, it is my friend. However, is it a friend or rock wealth? Then you look at the polarity. I'm Yang, and Kui water is a Yin, therefore it's a rock wealth, not friend, not F. Okay? Then we move on to this one, last one. Okay, so this one is Sun metal. Under Sun metal, there are three hidden stamps. Unlike this red water, only has one. So this one is Keng. So Keng is the element that produces me, just like this one. So just copy down. Because it's same, we no need to go through it again. Just put IR. And in this case, U is a Yang earth. So Yang earth controls water, right? So in this case, Yang, see Yang, it is of course a 7K. Then the last one here is Ren, see Ren, same, friend. So that's it. That's how we go through it in a very manual way. But of course today, thanks to the calculator, we just need to key in our date of birth and key in our hour of birth. Straight away, within split second, the calculator will churn out everything for you. So that's thanks to technology. Otherwise, in the ancient time or before calculator was invented, we have to do this manually, alright? So that's all from me. And if you are keen to enroll yourself online to learn more about this special golden verses courses with regard to Bazi, you can go to fengshuisuperstar.com. Okay, currently we are so-called pricing the course at 88 USD, but it will go up next year. So quickly grab it fast. This thing will definitely enhance your Bazi learning. If you are keen to join our physical class, okay, which are going to teach you, of course, more advanced thing, more layers of reading, then you can consider we have level 1 Bazi semi-pro. Novices are welcome. If you are not very confident, never mind, just watch our video for novices, like this video and the previous video, and more to come, of course. You will be more confident, okay? And of course, you can then attend our Bazi semi-pro with a bit of knowledge. Level 2 is meant for master practitioner. 3 days and you can become a master. And we have special program that cater to Bazi ladies' life. Because in the ancient time, people created a lot of classics just to talk about ladies' life. Okay? So with this, you can also visit us at our website or email us if you have any questions. Or also pop by to my Facebook fan page, which I will regularly put up some information, some sharing, some knowledge about Bazi, Feng Shui, Qi Men, I Ching, etc., etc. Alright? So thank you very much for watching.